Hello, Misc here. Just wanted to show you guys one thing I made in my spare time. It's called T6MVM. You might ask, does it support zombies? Yes, it does. Does it interfere? Does it conflict with other tools like T6GR, T6Shake, or T6 Director? It does. So I recommend to only use one tool at a time, just to be sure nothing will be broken. What I don't recommend is to play custom games with the mod installed. It can crash your game and I wasn't really able to find the actual reason why. So let's start with the installation. The installation process is the easiest thing ever. You just need to put T6MVM plugin file into your redacted plugins folder and it's done. T6MVM is now installed for redacted multiplayer and zombies. Once you're done with the installation, you can now launch your game. And as you can see, a console window pops up. The mod should be initialized just as the game connects to a server. First of all, you can change your resolution. T6MVM now handles aspect ratio changing for you. You can go straight into theater mode and you'll see 3 buttons over here. The first one is for settings. You can change your keybinds in case you have a different keyboard layout or you have some keys on your broken keyboard. You can see some actions that will be executed on streams finishing its recording and the stream's output folder, but we'll talk about it when we get to the stream's overview. The next one allows you to load a demo from a file. And the last one is probably my favorite thing in T6MVM. We all know Redacted has some issues with displaying more than 2 demos, so I've tried to create my own theater. It displays all the demos in certain directories and you can use the mouse wheel arrow keys or just scroll bar to switch between demos. On the right side, I'll be displaying the currently selected demo with its information such as duration, description and map image. As you can see, some demos don't have a name, or are marked as unknown. It can happen if your demo was recorded in a redacted custom game, or if you ripped the demo from Steam Black Ops 2 but it wasn't saved in COD TV. You can change the name of a demo by clicking on Rename Demo button. A dialog text box will show up where you can type or paste a name. Once you have the desired demo selected, just click on this Play Demo button and the demo will be loaded. In the demo, you can simply press Tab on your keyboard and the menu will appear. Let's start from Main tab here. There are 2 buttons right here on the center. Select a config file to apply. The other one saves configs from all the different tabs in T6MVM. What's interesting here is the timeline slider. You can jump across a demo without playing it up to the end. If you try to skip forward, you'll get an error of tick mismatch. What does this mean? Black Ops 2 has several tick values, and they are different until you skip back at least once. This is exactly why this error pops up and asks us to do. So let's just skip back and there we go. You can now skip along a demo. When you find a key moment, you can set a bookmark. Click on the time title of that timeline and it'll ask you to provide a description for the bookmark you want to add. You can leave it empty or type something like pick up DSR 3K by perception. And after you're done entering your description, you can just press the enter or the OK button. You can now go to your bookmark and either remove all of them or export them. T6MVM will try to find the demo file and append to the bookmark to the .tags file. So if we reopen the demo bookmarks, it will be there added for us. There are a few improvements to the Dolly cam. Let's jump to the free camera mode first. You can fly around and change the free camera speed by holding down the plus or minus keys on your keyboard, or you can adjust the camera speed in the camera menu. You can set specific values you want either in the menu or by hitting the tilde key to bring up the console. When using the console, remember you can press Tab to let it auto-complete the DVAR for you. Right, so the next thing is changing role and the field of view, or FOV. You can do this using your mouse wheel while in the camera edit mode. To adjust your FOV specifically, hold Ctrl and use the mouse wheel. And if you need to jump straight to the first camera marker, simply press Ctrl and M together. You also have the ability to export your campath. This is great for using it later or sharing it with your friends. You'll notice two files are exported. One is the normal camera path and the other is mirrored. You've probably seen this technique in awesome edits like Gay Mead by Gmos. Now if you import a mirrored campath onto a demo with a different map, you might notice this in a random place. This is where the Dolly camera offsets come in handy. They allow you to adjust the position and rotation to get the camera to the desired place. Camera shake was supposed to be something that could make your cines look more realistic. In the Dolly camera mode, you can preview the shake and adjust it for each axis. Finally, to use the frozen camera mode, you need to make sure you enable it before you set any markers. After that, you place your markers just as you would in the normal camera mode. Hit F3 one more time to enter bone camera mode. You can switch between selected bones by pressing the left or right mouse button. In the bone camera menu tab, you can switch between players and choose a bone with your mouse. Then press F to attach the camera and hit space to play the demo. As you can see, it's firmly attached to the bone. What you can do with all this camera stuff is something like this. Now let's briefly look at the few next tabs. The Misc tab is almost the same as Theatre tab in the V4 console. You can turn on green screens for POVs and signs here. You can choose which way your players will be green screened. It's either a selected player, or all players in a certain radius from the camera, or all players on the map. These settings will be used during the stream recording process. You can turn on the depth map here, adjust its distance, and turn off players, bloominess and the theatre barrier. Next, SSAO. There's nothing much to say about SSAO here. You've seen it a lot of times, but there is a SSAO distance slider, which is also known as the Z-near command. It changes your clipping, so be careful tweaking it. Then we have fog. Fog is pretty much the same as in V4 console. You can switch between default presets or import a preset you used in V4. T6MVM exports fog presets in the same format as V4 does, so it's backwards compatible. Actually, the whole mode is backwards compatible. And DOF. There's nothing much to say about depth of field here either, just regular sliders and values. Sun settings were also there for the whole time Black Ops consoles existed. Just as the bone camera lights were taken from T6 Director by Ares, hit F3 until you're in the lights mode. You can press F to spawn a light. It can either be a spotlight or an omni light. Also remember that you can spawn an unlimited number of lights, but only 4 of them will be displayed in the current scene due to engine restrictions. Now once you've spawned a few lights, you can get closer to one of them and press F to enter the light menu tab, or just hit tab key and go to the lights tab. Here you can see a list of the lights you've placed. You can select one and change its settings like color, radius and brightness. Flicker can also be turned on. Lights lists can be exported and imported later. Let's talk about streams. Streams are basically the same as in T6GR, except you can hit some buttons here instead of typing lots of console commands. First things first, you need to enable it and set the output directory. T6MVM won't let you start recording without the output directory being set. Then you need to set the start tick. In this case, you can leave the end tick non-set. You'll just need to stop the recording by yourself. Choose your FPS and recording format. It's either an image sequence in PNG or JPEG, or an AVI file. Recording AVI file was possible with the libgamavi by Gmos. Choose the passes you want to be recorded, and don't forget that green screen and depth settings are taken from the Misc tab. Press F5 to start or stop recording. F6 will abort the current recording and delete what's been recorded so far. If your F5 key is also broken, you can go with the mmv_streams_star or mvm_streams_stop commands. Recording might take a while. Right here we should look at the T6MVM.json file. It contained the stream output folder you've set earlier, and you can see post streams actions. What are those actions? Well, the folder where the streams were recorded will be open, so you don't need to navigate to that folder manually. And you can get a notification to your Alertzy app once recording is finished. Alertzy can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the App Store. You'll just need to sign up and get an API key, which should be pasted right over here where it says your API key. This file also contains a directory where your demos are stored. In the Weapons tab, you can create a fancy view model for your POVs. I've unlocked the view model angle, so weapon roll also works now. But weapon roll doesn't work if you have camera sway enabled. What is camera sway? Every time your player rotates the camera from left to right or from right to left, T6MVM applies a little camera roll adjustment to create a kinda realistic POV camera movement. You can combine it with certain view model settings to get a sort of body cam POV look. Camo also changes in third person or Dolly camera mode. Holdgun is also one of my favorite features in T6MVM. You can make a gun of a corpse be attached to the tag weapon right to get the most realistic physics of the weapon, since tag weapon right is a part of the player animations. Or you can attach it to the wrist to get it firmly attached. Weapon animations can be changed too. You just need to open up the animation changing menu from the weapons tab on the left side. You can select a weapon you want to change the animation of. Last but not least is the custom sliders tab. You can now add a custom slider for a DVAR here, just like in V4. However, T6MVM handles only float type DVARs from now. Added sliders are stored in the sliders folder right here next to T6MVM plugin file. You can copy your custom sliders from V4 folder and hit the refresh button. It will automatically load them into the game. You might see some weird things going on with the sliders. It happens because of large max values. Just open a slider value and change the F max value. The friendly name can also be changed right there. So that's pretty much it. Feel free to leave comments with your suggestions if you have any, and message me on Discord with bug reports. Bug reports are always something I appreciate. All the useful links will be in the description, as well as GitHub links with the resources I used.